Hey, g'day. I have just returned from a fantastic Easter rock hunt in the Goldfields of Western Australia. My first stop was just out of Kalgoorlie to get this. This is a greenish, mint green opalite. I got quite a lot of it, that's just a small part. Opalite being a common opal. In West Australia we call it opalite, always have. People get upset because that's a man-made product now, opalite. It's the name of a man-made product. But hey, we'll stick with our name. Common opal, opalite. From there I went down to Norseman, about 200 kilometres south of Kalgoorlie, to pick up some dendritic opalite. But more than just dendritic, I wanted this stuff that has these black and translucent sections in it, which has become known as merlinite recently. It's dendritic opalite, common opal, with the translucent sections. From there, I went up to Widgymultha, isn't that a funny name, to get some lepidolite. This is lepidolite. And while I was there, I quickly had a look at a location someone had told me about where I might find some colourful jaspers, but not really. But I did find some of this green rock. It's quite soft. I'm going to cut him up and just see how well they polish. I've got a few pieces of that. All of these I've got quite a few pieces of. I'll just quickly run through what I did get. I'll have a more detailed video at the end of this of everything that I got. Quite impressive. From there I met up with club members. So I'm in a rock hunting club, the WA, West Australian Lapidary and Rock Hunting Club. So there was about 24 others that I met up with at a mine site. And we went out looking on the first day for garnets. So these are garnets embedded in a rock. But there was also loose garnets. Got wet hands, but I'll quickly show you what I've got here. Lots of garnets. I don't know how well you can see that. And as well as that, one monster garnet. The biggest one of the day, that. I'm quite proud. And there was also another form of opalite. This is a bit big to wet, this one, but we'll give it a go. This one here. Again, has those clear translucent sections, so should polish very well. From there we went looking for Chert. Now Chert doesn't sound very exciting, but this was really nice actually. Really colourful banded Chert. So this is up in Southern Cross, a mine in Southern Cross. There was also this one here. Again, I will try and wet him to show what it might look like if it was polished. So this here, I don't know if it's a Chert, but it was there amongst all the Chert. It has those beautiful green sections in it. Who knows how that's going to come out? We'll see. There was also this here, Hulk green rock. I don't know what that is. Again, it seems fairly soft. Very soft. Don't know how well that'll polish, but I've got quite a bit of that as well. Then, I'll have to grab this piece here. So the last day of the rock hunt at Southern Cross, we collected some gypsum. Now gypsum, let me grab this one here. This is gypsum crystals. It's quite amazing how this stuff was growing, I guess you'd say. Again, have a look at the video and you'll see what I mean. So from there, after 3 days with the rock club, I was the leader actually. That was quite an experience. Leading 34 others who probably had their own agendas, wanted to go do their own thing, trying to control them. So from there, I went back to Kalgoorlie, met up with one of the other club members who decided to go to Kalgoorlie with me. Because the first day I was at Kalgoorlie, you'll see, it was really muddy. I was limited to where I could get to. So I thought after 4 days of sunshine, it should have dried up, which it did. And I managed to get some more, well, some more of this stuff here. So the green opalite, that one there, as well as, I don't know, I guess this is a opalite again, it's hard to say, just black and white, but some really beautiful fine details in those. And then lastly, some more a greenish opalite with clear sections. So hang around, I'll take you through the whole adventure, and then at the end you'll see all the rocks that came back with me. Quite impressive really, I think. See ya. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. I make videos on all things rock related, from finding, cutting and polishing, And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Also, please like, comment and share my videos to help me try and overcome this YouTube algorithm. Alright, so I arrived in Kalgoorlie to find out that it rained pretty heavily the day before and there was mud everywhere. You can see here, there was places I wanted to get to, but just couldn't without sinking ankle deep in mud. And even getting to far as I wanted to go with the vehicle, it couldn't be done either because the car was starting to bog down. But this stuff, this green opalite, is everywhere. So I took a bit of time and found one rock and busted it up and got quite a few nice pieces out of it. And these are them. I'll probably end up with about a dozen pieces. I'm just showing some of the better ones. But again, you'll see at the end of the video exactly what I brought home with me. It's weird the way this stuff forms. It's like wherever there's a crack in the rock, the opalite, the common opal, will form. It was pretty muddy, you can see by that. And this was why I couldn't go to other places. It was basically just mud and rivers. Where there wasn't water, it was mud. It just made getting around really difficult. So I was happy with what I got so far. A bucket full of mint green opalite. So I decided to head out of there. Oh, before I left, I saw this rock. Really quite interesting. And thought, you know what? I could have parts of that as well. So I did. Broke off a few pieces. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They're too small to sort of tumble polish, but I just think they look nice as display rocks. I might slab polish some of them, I don't know yet. Time to think about it. This was coming back out of the track. That was the way I came in, and boy, you wouldn't want to stop here. I think you'd bog down pretty quick. And at the end here where I try to turn, like I'm turning the wheel here, but it's like riding in a boat. It's like driving a boat. The car just wasn't getting any traction until finally it starts to. If I had my old vehicle, there's no way I would have got through there. So happy to have this new one. And that was a pair of shoes destroyed. I ended up destroying another pair as well on the same weekend. And I thought, geez, the car's covered in mud. How am I going to clean that? Well, there's these little car washers along the way. Gives the underbelly of the car a really good clean. And so off I headed to Norseman. First thing the next morning, I decided I'd go and look for some killer jasper, which is actually an opalite. And this was what the track was like. I could get through that, not a problem. It was only once I got about probably 8/10 of the way there that this happened. There was a lake, and on my own I was never going to attempt it. If there was a few people, I probably wouldn't still. Too deep. So I went back to the opalite, the dendritic opalite piles by the railway cutting. This time to look mainly for a merlinite. Now merlinite is this dendritic opalite that has clear sections in it. There's a piece there. When I say clear, that's not a good example. They're translucent, and that translucent part seems to be more of a chalcedony than an opalite. You can see some there, those dark bits. So yeah, this part of the hunt was mainly looking for that, although if I did find any interesting dendritic opalite, I was always going to take some of that home. There's another bit of merlinite. So it's everywhere here, you can't go wrong. The trouble is I've already got so many different coloured dendritic opalites, stuff like that. But what I look for is out of the ordinary things, like that one, no, not good enough. Ones that have very fine dendrites in them always come up really nice. That's a nice rock there, see those fine dendrites. So they come up a lot nicer. Is that another bit of merlinite? Yes, it is. So yeah, my main goal here was to get some more merlinite. I've had a few people asking for some, and my stocks were getting a little low. But yeah, you can see it's just scattered about everywhere. And it's not just this pile. If you have a look, there's pile there, there's piles there. It's everywhere. This place was also muddy as well. You had to be careful where you stepped. And this is what I got, a selection of what I got from that site. This is merlinite. This is the translucent section held up to the sun with dendrites. And this is something that I wanted to try and get too, some of the red tints in it. From there it was just a quick skip to Widgymortha. Now I had to meet the rest of the club at 3 p.m. in Southern Cross, and I was running a little bit late, so I quickly whipped around and in about 10 minutes found some beautiful pieces of lepidolite. Just like these. Again, I probably filled a bucket. This is a few examples. I like the one with the veins in it. Someone told me around the corner, a little bit further, you could find some colourful Jaspers. So off I went and ran into this fella. I don't know what it is. Is that some sort of an egg sac or something on the back? I don't know. I tried to put my hand next to it to give you an example of the size. Oh, but I was kind of scared. So the end of it there, the end of that spine, what do you call that? It's head, thorax, abdomen, I don't know. That's an insect. But yeah, that end bit was as big as my fingertip. So quite a large one. You don't want to go walking into one of them. And this is what I found at that site. Not so much colourful Jaspers, just this green, moderately soft rock. I'm not sure how it's going to cut and polish, but it's always worthwhile experimenting. Now from there I met up with the rest of the club at a gold mine in Southern Cross. We'd been given permission to stay at this gold mine. They even let us use their dongers. Each one of us had our own donga. A donga is this accommodation with air conditioning, our own television. So this is times 30 odd people, all for free. Our own bathroom with shower, and our own toilets. Fantastic. And as well as that, the food was all put on as well. So we had breakfast, lunch and dinner here. This is just a quick example of what sort of food we had on the first night. Desserts. And main courses.
Not everything yet.
And then this is what I had for dinner on my first night. So here we are, bright and early the next morning. 7:15 was the meeting time. We all get together to discuss what we can and can't do. I was actually made trip leader for this one. My first real attempt at being a trip leader. I learned a few lessons, that's for sure. You will take off. Everyone's got their CVs on. Yep. You'll say car 1 leaving, and then whoever basically follows. So yeah, we did a roll call. At the moment, there's no numbers. And then we ran through what we were going to be doing for the day, what we can and can't do, what the whistles mean, how we're going to go in a convoy, and just basically the rules for our club rock hunt.
I thought it was just woolly.
What did I say?
Now that everyone is a full bottle on what they can and can't do
You were saying about
on a rock hunt, it's time to hit the road. So off we went.
14 turning left through the bogey bit.
This is my chauffeur for the day. And his wife.
And then Charlie going through the fog.
There you go.
George, smile for the camera. Now this first site, there was Opalites, a common opal, and garnets. These people here are looking for garnets. There was basically garnets embedded in rocks. Quite a few people got some nice pieces here. And meanwhile, over the other side of the road, I was looking for opalite.
Ow.
So again, common opal.
There's a good one, Bill.
Nice piece.
Yeah. You want some? I'll leave some here.
And here's some of the pieces that I took home. That clear section is going to really polish nicely. So that's opalite, or common opal. Now this was a piece of rock with garnets in it that I picked up. You can see garnets all the way through, those little purple, pinky purple gems. Some bigger ones in this. There's a nice piece, but the reason I was videoing is because I wanted to crack this piece of opalite open. A quick whack with the hammer exposes some nice green pattern. I already have quite a bit of this stuff, so I'm not going to keep that. It's always interesting to give it another whack just in case there's something else hiding inside there. But no, that's all the same. That can stay there. And then we went to another site where there was more garnets. These were more loose garnets. So laying around, you can see people picking through the hills there looking for individual garnets, individual bigger garnets. But these smaller ones were just lying around everywhere. So what I did is I scooped up a whole lot in a container, probably about 300 grams of dirt and garnets, and then came home and washed them out. Separated the dirt from the garnets. This is what I've got. You can see right in the middle there, there's a big one that I found. That was the winner for the day apparently. No one else got one that big. I don't know why that water was that colour. Something to do with garnets maybe, I don't know. This is the area. And these are my garnets once they've been cleaned up, and I've got rid of most of the bits of rock. You can still see rocky bits in there. But yeah, I'm happy enough with that. So back we go to the camp where the dongers are for our dinner for the night. It was a great atmosphere. All the club members sitting around telling tall stories about rocks they found. Now, every morning after breakfast, we could make our own lunch for the day. So I'd used to have a wrap with some cheese and bacon and lettuce in it. And off we'd go to our next destination. This one was the banded Chert. I'm not sure, this is some kind of a mine. Apparently the Chert was brought in from somewhere. I'm not sure why or how, because it doesn't really belong in the area. But there were some really beautiful pieces. Like that one there, that's huge. That's bigger than both my hands, that one. Look at that colour range. And this one here, I don't think it's Chert, but got some nice greens and browns in there. This one here is Chert with a swirly pattern. And lastly, this stuff, I don't know what it is. It's a bright green and a bit soft. Then we went to another location looking for opalite, but didn't find any. We had permission from the owners to use metal detectors. Not that anyone found anything precious, just bits of old metal. From there we went to a disused open cut mine where we were told we could find gypsum crystals. This is the whole gang heading down. The mud had started to dry up at this point, but it was still a bit sludgy. Oh, this is where I ruined another pair of shoes. Off we go. Isn't that beautiful? Maybe a jet skiing or something in there. And this is the scene. In the foreground there are all these gypsum crystals. And here we are picking out our crystals, which I got a couple of real beautiful, what would you call them, like bouquets of crystals. But they didn't all survive the trip home. They're a bit fragile. Mind you, I'm still very happy with what did come home. Some survived intact. But yeah, it's a very fragile formation. There's one of our guides there telling people don't go past me. It's very soft. You can see here some people collecting crystals. This was the one that I had that didn't make it home, so I got about half of that now. It looked really nice. That's another one I got that did survive. That's a bigger one. And that was that same one that didn't survive. So basically just you get a shovel, whatever, and dig out some crystals. And hopefully they're in a formation that looks nice, like that. Look at that one. Fantastic. Such a nice, peaceful place. Mind you, getting there is a bit muddy, and the shoreline's muddy as well. That's why these crystals are growing there. These gypsum crystals. From there we went to another disused open cut mine where there was more gypsum crystals, but these were finer. I'm not sure why or how they form, but these are a lot finer crystals. Oops. You can see here, then they were growing off plants or whatever they could. So much finer straws than the last location. Isn't that nice? This one that came home with me. The same with this one. It would grow on, this was actually on the side of a pipe. So it had grown in a circular form on the side of a pipe. But you can see here, plants have just become crystal plants. Really quite weird how it forms, and I don't understand how or why. Maybe I should look that up. But yeah, look at that, it's everywhere. And again, you can see by people's shoes how muddy this was as well. So growing on the rocks there, must be when the water fills up and then evaporates, leaving the crystals behind. So then, back to our campsite for the night. We'd always have a meeting at 5 o'clock, discuss the day's events, have a bit of a snack before heading off for dinner.
Jamsing.
Right, breakfast the next morning. Delicious. Now the club part of the rock hunt had wound up, so everyone went their own way. But Steve, his wife Jo and myself went looking for a place nearby for future rock hunts maybe that contained magnesite. The roads were pretty muddy, but we made our way around this little puddle. That was all good up until the road turned into a lake. So this here is where we're meant to go, and you can see the opening over the other side there. We're meant to continue. There's no getting around it. We sort of drove around, had a look, and thought it wasn't worth the risk. We'll have another look another day. So from here we went our separate ways. Steve and Jo went back to Perth, and I headed for Kalgoorlie. Now the reason I went back to Kalgoorlie was that there'd been 4 days of sunshine. So I was hoping all the tracks and access would have dried up, which it had. So I managed to get some nicer pieces this time. This is, I think, an opalite. Beautiful black, delicate patterns in this. And then, so this is the view from one of the rock mounds, and you can see no lakes around there anymore. So everything's quite accessible, although it was still muddy, but much more accessible. So I've got some more of this mint green opalite or common opal, as well as other bits and pieces. This one here is nice. Has druzy pockets in there. So crystal pockets. I think I'll just leave that as it is. And then on the way back there's this tree. I'm not sure what the purpose is, whether it's a memorial for someone or if it's just someone's idea of a joke. If it's a joke, I think it's quite funny. If it's a memorial, then my sympathies. So yeah, all these helmets just scattered about a tree. If anyone knows, I'd love to know what it's about. And from there, it's back to Perth. Drives about, I think it was 7 hours, something like that. I got back just before midnight. Glad to get in my own bed, even though it was comfortable where we were. It's always good to get back in your own bed. And here's the crew that we went with. This is all of us minus 2 that didn't quite make it for the photo. And this was my car. It looks a lot worse on the sides, covered in mud. And now this is what came back with me. This is everything. So these are all the mint green opalite. These are all the pieces of merlinite. This is from Norseman. And these are more, not so much merlinite, just dendritic opalite that basically took my fancy. This is the lepidolite. That's from Widgymortha. Quite a few nice pieces there. And that pink, I think, is petalite. This is from that random location where I was told to go. Just found a few green rocks. This is from the first club location. The opalite with the nice chalcedony centres. And some bits of garnet stuck in rocks. Quite nice. Again, not sure what I'm going to do with them. And then onto the Chert. That piece there is huge. The banded Chert, lots of beautiful colours, and the Chert polishes really well. This odd green rock, no idea what that is. More of it in a brown banded rock, and then some more opalite from when I went back to Kalgoorlie. So it's a nice sort of white pale green, and then the lime green or the apple green. More pieces, lots of pieces. And then this black and white stuff with the very fine patterns. I'm hoping that polishes well. Oh, we've got a few bits of clear quartz. Some of it's a bit stained, but yeah, mainly clear. And these are my pieces of gypsum. So those pieces survived pretty well. This one here, not so well. He lost half his volume. And that one there looks good. So there we go. That was the result of 5 days of a rock hunt. I lent my camera to Craig. This is what I found when I got back.
Give Paul a special message.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have and haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Till next time, see ya.